30 years and counting. This is Okanagan Sun football with Ryan Waters.
The Sun enter the second half of the season in first place with a 4-1 record. They're coming off their biggest output and first shutout of the season after that 50-0 drubbing of Chilliwack last Saturday. Head coach Pete McCall recaps his fourth win of the season.
Well, yeah, you win 50-0. It must have been pretty good. And our defense came out of the gate very strong and stuffed them on the first play of the game there. Turned the ball over, and we converted on our first offensive play. So that's a good way to start off the game. And it was like that for the first quarter there. It was about 24-0 after the first quarter. And then as we let all the backups in, we kind of slowed down a little bit, but we picked up the pace again in the second half, and we were very happy with all of the substitutions that were going on there, how we performed overall.
Did you accomplish what you wanted to accomplish against Chilliwack?
Absolutely. We wanted to work on the running game, and we were able to do that. I think we had 240-plus yards on the run, and we had a number of different backs carrying the ball, and so that was one of the major goals of that game, was to establish a running game, and we were able to do that. And we're hoping we can carry that on through into this weekend and do much of the same. I
want to ask you about Stephen Schott. He had a 51-yard field goal. Was that his decision, or obviously it was your decision in the end, but did he kind of come up to you and say, Coach, I can hit it from this far?
Yeah, he was right there next to Tony when I asked, and then he said, yeah, for sure, let's do it. So we're going to put that confidence in him and let him do those kind of kicks, and yeah, he followed through.
It is the second half of the season, or it begins this weekend. Just looking back in the first half, your thoughts, maybe a report card on what you would give the Okanagan Sun.
That's a good question. I think there's still room for improvement. We have improved significantly, and it seems like we're really picking up speed now. So overall, I guess I'd give them an A-.
That's a pretty good grade. You draw Kamloops this coming weekend. The second time you face them, what do you expect from the Broncos?
Much of the same defensively. I'm sure that they'll be pinning their ears back like they were the last time we played them. They did a great job stopping our running game last time. And then offensively, I expect to see them throwing the ball underneath like they did last time, trying to move the ball, move the chains, sustain some drives, and execute. They too are no different than us. If they can hit those passes, they'll have more success. So we're expecting a tough-fought battle. I know that they had a tough one last weekend there, but everybody gets excited to play the Sun, and I think that this is a critical time for them to win.
You want to continue to work on the run game?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we'll be looking to run first.
This week, you lose your backup quarterback in Taylor Potkins. What does that do to the ball club?
Well, it does change the dynamics of the offense. We did have to have Drew Jacobson up to the number 2 spot, and so that gives him a lot more opportunities in practice. And, at the same time, we do need to have that running game. I don't think that Drew's going to be able to sling the ball, 30, 40 times a game, so we got to be able to have some balance and get the ball out of his hands and hope that some of those big play receivers can help him out too if we needed him down the road.
During the first half of the season, many of the Sun new recruits have paid dividends. One of those recruits is center Derek Kraft. The Rutland grad brings CIS experience playing for UBC last year. Kraft was injured in Week 1 when the Sun faced the Broncos in Kamloops and says he's looking forward to the challenge that the Broncos bring.
Yeah, it should be an interesting game. We should be playing hard back and forth, and we'll see what happens.
Well, what have the Sun been working on this week to get prepared?
We've been working on everything. We're trying to focus more on our run game a bit, but we also need to complete our passes when the play's called.
Well, what kind of film have you guys been watching yourselves last week against Chilliwack, or the last time you faced Kamloops, or just strictly Kamloops video?
We're just watching Kamloops and picking what they have and seeing what we can do against them.
What have you seen in film that you can exploit?
We've seen some breakdowns in the secondary and opportunities to run the ball.
Now you have CIS experience. You played with UBC last year. How does junior compare to CIS?
The ball is very different, but at CIS it's very competitive and up to it. At junior, we're more of a family, and we're much more willing to work hard to get to that next level.
Have you enjoyed your time with the Sun so far?
I've loved it so far, and I hope to stay on for a few more years.
The Sun and Broncos kick off at 7 o'clock at the Apple Bowl Saturday night, and you can pick up your tickets at the gate. Catch the play-by-play live on the official home of the Sun, AM 1150. Until next time, I'm Ryan Waters.